the commercials. Hey guys, what's going on? How's things going? Everybody, they're shy. They don't want to talk.
Get off your phone.
I didn't know
he's over here just scanning his phone and everything else. Jimmy,
I'm good. I heard you had a good weekend.
Oh, I had a great weekend. First.
Well, I'm usually loud enough. I don't know if I really need a mic.
Before we talk about my weekend, because I got to tell you about that. It looks like there's somebody in between us. Yeah, there's somebody there. So you want to say who it is?
I told you his name. Everybody else out here knows.
Okay, I don't know his name. I know his face because he told me his name 30 minutes ago.
Many of y'all know our guest here, Scott Willis. He is from Alapaha.
I'm from Naylor.
No,
that's close.
I was going to say Alapaha. I don't know the man. I know Alapaha.
But we got Scott with us today. He's going to help us out because he knows more than both of us, really. So.
Yeah, but we're talking sports, though.
And Roger said he looks better, so.
Oh, well, look at him. He is like 12 foot tall compared to us sitting down here and us squatted down in the chair.
Well, 6 foot even makes us look short.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. When y'all showed me I was going to sit in the middle and I'm in a chair that's higher, I'm already taller. I was like, this is a little bit weird.
I thought about getting you a little bitty stool, but then it would have looked really bad.
Do we need to raise the camera? We got it. We got him in there. Haircut too.
Yeah, I got fresh haircut.
Fresh cut going on. Had to get that on. So so glad you're here.
I'm glad you asked me.
I do not know this man, so if I argue with him, it's okay. I try not to. It's only Jimmy.
Even if he knows somebody, he argues.
Look, I don't win any arguments at home, so I plan on winning a few here.
Here we go.
I was going to say, he's been married long enough, so.
Let me get my cheeks ready. Here we go. All right. So, I just got back from a cruise. We took off and went to the Bahamas for the weekend, the wife and I and Mama T. And we had a good time. I actually had enough time to drop her off and get back here just for the show. I almost fell in the chair.
I think your cruise was shorter than my trip to Key Largo.
No, actually, it was long enough because we didn't have to do anything. We didn't have to rush anything.
Yeah, but it was 10.5 hours to Key Largo.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was 6. So it was a 7-hour ride down, though.
So next time, we're not going on Friday. We got to go Thursday.
Well, I'm not taking you next time because I'm already planning on going. I'm headed down there.
We're going on Thursday?
No, actually, it's my little brother's birthday. So we're going to go down there and celebrate his birthday. It's just going to be a family thing. And we'll spend the weekend and just kind of hang out.
Well, Sarah said bring her key lime pie back next time.
We'll bring her bra back, too, man.
You still wearing that?
Wait, look at his hands going. It was a party, dude.
Yeah, it was. You can watch the show and tell that.
Yeah, no kidding. We had a good time. Mama T actually caught 30, I think it was 31 or 30. And Big Rod caught 15. I wouldn't even turn around and look at him anymore. They were sitting there bringing him in, and he was just taking them off the hook for her. And I said, forget it. I'm just keeping my eyes out here. So we had a good time.
Not knowing asked when are we going to have the fish fry?
Well, if you're going to the Bahamas, I know the guy to hook you up with a fish fry because he's got them all. We're not allowed to bring them back
I eat fish up here. And we are at Mama June's 3268 Inner Perimeter Road.
Yeah, and just let me say, so Chris, who was this travel agent that I keep hearing about? Oh, wait, it was the one I used. So who was the one I used? Do you even have a mic this week?
No.
He doesn't have a mic, so we're going to silence him this week.
Yes, he is
so
silent.
Wait, let me see if I can get this right. Travel.
Oh,
travel.
You're saying okay, yeah, because somebody was back there shaking their head and no, that's still not it.
I'm getting this. Okay, so and we tried this before the show, but it was kind of like I didn't have my note card, so I couldn't do it, and I still don't have them, so I still can't do it. So it's travel anytime. Travel anytime. They're right there at 100 North Patterson Street, and they are going to Gunta. They are our first advertisement also that'll be coming through the show besides Chris's website.
And is there a website people or a phone number they can call? Or is Chris getting that for us?
That'll all be
Chris
on
has got all that
commercial coming up, and I think you'll see that. I mean, let me tell you something. They told me exactly what to expect as far as COVID and what I had to do, where I had to be. I didn't have to think, dude. it was one of them things. I just showed up and it was there. And one of the other things.
See, he's even laughing, and he just met you.
Yeah, see?
I'm glad you didn't have to think.
What? Wait a minute. I just caught on to that. But if you have a chance, give them a call. Plus, they have the names of the guys we went down. It was $70 to go out and fish for the day per person. So it was a blast. Plus, only until the end of September, and essential employees, they have a list. I don't know that whole list because I didn't even know their name. So I don't have a whole list I can repeat. But essential employees for the state of Florida and Georgia and all that, there's a big discount there. Is it still free? It's free till the end of September for essential employees. But I only think, and you'll have to call them to get the rest of the details, but essential employees get to go on this cruise for free, dude. I just couldn't beat it, so I took my wife, and she was so glad to go. She was actually just to zen out, and we had dinner, and we sat by the water, and it was a good time. So any of you that are essential employees, hook them up down there on North Patterson Street.
Give them a call.
Okay, so I guess we're going to get into some football now. I guess that's what we got to kind of have to do a show for. So
there was a few games last weekend.
What I hear, though, is, first of all, let's kind of, for those that I didn't know him until about 20 years ago. So explain to us who you are and as far as sports goes and things like that.
Well, football-wise, when you look at high school football, probably the biggest thing would be 25 years as a high school official in South Georgia. Well, all of Georgia. I've been to all corners of it, officiating high school football.
So you were the guy I yelled at.
So he's the guy that we yell at that needs glasses that he's not wearing.
You know, and I'm from this area, you know, from Valdosta. I went to high school with Jimmy, and somebody asked me one time, I know, asked me one time, said, you know, what's the difference between working a game, you know, out of town versus working one in town? This is real simple. When I'm working out of town, they look at me and say, hey, ref, you suck. When I'm in town, they say, hey, Scott, you suck.
So they know.
I mean, that's pretty much the only difference.
So you don't have to run when you're in town, but when you're out of town, you have to run sometimes.
No, you run all the time.
Even in town?
Even in town.
My father-in-law, Philip Hoffman, from Alapaha, he actually refereed for about 35 years in the high school association.
I bet my dad and him might know each other. Yeah, I'm assuming if he did it, he probably did it in the Gold Leaf Association.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, Scott's.
Yeah.
My dad did it. He's actually and my brother Derek and my dad Bobby. My dad Bobby he's heads up the FCA here in town now. But he actually worked the game Friday night. He's 74 years old and still working football. I don't know how he does it. I'm 51 now, and I've been retired for 3 years, and it hurt every Saturday morning from all that running up and down the field. I was wore out, knees hurt, feet hurt, brain hurt.
So you must really enjoy to be able to do that, especially at 50. Would you still do it now, or are you retired?
I retired.
Okay, so to maybe done it 2 years ago, it must have been a joy though to be able to.
Well, yeah, I mean, we did it for 25 years, and there was a camaraderie. It's a fraternity. Referees really are, because look, they got no other friends at that point in time.
That's
you know,
so true. Yeah.
And so there was a fraternity feel to it. You're a band of brothers out there on the field together, wearing those stripes. We worked a crew philosophy, basically. So we worked with the same guys every Friday night. We would go to different schools. And so one of the cool things for us was my dad was the white hat. I was a deep guy. My brother was a line guy. So the three of us got to work with each other every Friday night for 20 some odd years. Wow. And then we had a guy by the name of Jess Wright across from us, and we worked together the entire time, and then had a few others in and out throughout the years. Right. But that camaraderie that you have it's a band of brothers. And it was, I look back fondly on it, and got a lot of good stories, and a few that are
stories you can't tell.
Yeah, there you go. But it was great, and it's a way of, I come up playing sports. I was always around it, and it's a way of giving back. I enjoy now. One of the things I do is I coach a ton of baseball, and I get to have this relationship with these kids that are more one-on-one. When you're reffing, you don't get to really have that relationship with the kids. It's more the coaches. I got a lot of friends that are now coaches, that we talk still. Even after I've done officiating, I see them. A few of them have, we're phone. I pick up phone. We'll call each other.
So let me ask you this. So just to, we'll move on from this, but being a ref, you have probably seen some of the best high school football players, and you may have tapped them on the back. Do you ever think about that, or think the ones that, you refed against him when he was in high school and he's a pro now?
Yeah, I've actually got one that's in the Hall of Fame.
Who is that?
Champ Bailey.
From
Folkestone,
Charlton
County.
Charlton County.
My first year officiating, we had him at Atkinson County. He scored a touchdown rushing, throwing, receiving, kick return, punt return.
And how many penalties
in one game? I know I could. Heck, you couldn't see him. I remember to start the second half. My dad was back there with him. He said, "Son, if you're going to run one of these back, you need to let us know so we can get ready." And he said, "Well, you better get ready because anything can happen."
There you go. That's true.
And it was true.
Well, and do you remember some of just give me, we're going to get off this in just a minute.
Oh, we're fine.
Give me one of the best moments as far as being a referee that you can recall in the past 25 years.
Well, it's different, a referee as compared to a player, because, championship games, worked in the Dome back in the day. Some of the ones that stick out are, I had a game in Mitchell County. It was Mitchell County versus Americus. Fabian Walker was the quarter at Americus. It then went to Florida State, and then it came to VSU. And Dontrell Pinkins was the quarterback for Mitchell County, who went and played at South Carolina and is now the coach at Mitchell County. And the two of them were it was like a boxing match. They were trading blows left and right. Dontrell would make a pass because they were both quarterbacks. They were the best athletes on the field, so they're going to put the ball in their hands. Yeah. Even though Dontrell went and played defense in college,
right? But
it was okay. Watch this, and then the next thing you know, this would happen, and then the other one would make a good play, and then started the third quarter. It's hectic. The place is packed. Both teams were really good at the time, obviously, and then half the lights went out.
Oh, wow.
So one side of the football field was dark. The other side had lights. One coach blamed the other coach, said that they put somebody up to it. It's just exciting. It was really in the excitement, and you see some of that stuff. If you were in the stands, you would have never known about the two coaches arguing, saying, you sent Billy over there to turn those lights off,
right? Exactly.
And all that kind of stuff. And so you get that type of stuff. That was always a good one when I look back at exciting and just being a great game to be a part of. That one always sticks out for some reason.
I bet that sounds like it would be. From a fan standpoint, that would be awful because you would be thinking those conspiracy theories on what they did, like you were saying that the coach was saying.
Yeah, but
and it just happens. Fuses blow,
right.
Man.
It was a freak thing. I remember a state patrol's taking us back there to try and figure it all out. He's following us just because we had to keep those two guys separated. It was crazy. Yeah. I couldn't even remember who the two coaches were at this time, but. It was fun. A lot of fun that game, and there's been many, many more.
Well, just so we haven't really touched on football yet, but on high school yet, but we're going to go to break here in about a minute. So our lineup for tonight is a little different. We're going to do about 35 to 45 minutes, and then this is going to be live on Facebook, but then we're actually going to do our stuff for as you see, we have our new NBC logos on. We're going to be doing our show here in a little bit right after this. So this one will be a little shorter. We're not going to talk professionals here, but we're going to talk just a tad bit of high school and professionals for Saturday morning. And then Saturday morning is going to go live. So we'll be Facebook Live Saturday morning, and we'll also be on NBC 40 out of Tallahassee.
From 9 to 10.
From 9 to 10 in the morning, right before the big games kick off. So we had to bring a pretty face in.
I can't believe y'all brought me in for the first round of TV.
Well, and you know what? And it's one of the
We're
things
lacking in friends.
Yeah.
Thibodeau was not available.
There's not a big enough screen for
Rush
Thibodeau
Probst
and you out here.
Yeah.
After what I hear today, Rush Probst wasn't available to come on.
Yeah,
So, we read an
Season
article
2
today.
coming up.
We read it, on that. So let's get a commercial and we'll be right back.
Need a website for your business? Let Shadowfox Design help. We will design and build your website so you have more time for your business. We will help with all your online needs so you have more time for your customers. Learn more and get started now by going to www.shadowfox.design. Research less and relax more with eTravel Anytime. Let us help you decide which Sandals destination is best for your romantic getaway, or help you choose the family resort that is best for your vacation. We can also help you decide which cruise is best for you and your family. Tell us your preferences and we can narrow down your choices. Contact us today so we can help you plan your next vacation. Call 229-300-3691.
Oh, and we're back.
At Mama June's.
What's the address here at Mama June's?
3286 Inner Perimeter Road.
Are you sure
I know it's Inner Perimeter Road. Let's check and make sure. I want to say it
Come
is.
on, Jimmy.
We've been here after a while. Yep, 3286 Inner Perimeter Road.
3286 Inner
So
Perimeter.
y'all come on out.
Look at the setup that they brought us this week on the table.
And this is just a sample, folks.
This is just, a little bit of everything and a lot of good stuff. If you see the cookie on the other side, Jimmy took a bite out of that already. You can see his teeth marks in it.
No, see, that's where you're wrong, because there ain't no bite.
But
the whole cookie would be gone.
Way too small for Jimmy.
The whole cookie would be gone.
I'm so glad somebody said that besides me.
I get him
So
later.
anyway, we want to talk about some high school. What do you want to talk about? The elephant in the room, or do you want to talk about?
Talking about IMG?
Yeah,
we can talk IMG.
Go ahead.
Okay. In case y'all don't know, IMG was on ESPN the other night and played. Do we even know the name of the school?
I've seen it 72 times, but I can't remember what it is.
But anyway, and I know you was on the cruise, and I know you know who IMG is.
Yes, I do.
They're ranked number 2 in the nation.
Yep.
And somehow got ESPN to televise their game the other night.
Well, they're ranked number 2 in the nation.
Yeah, but they called ESPN, was supposed to be vetted, and said, "Hey, look, we're playing this team. They got."
I was going to say it's the team that the other team. We got to find that name.
Chris, can you look up that name? But in the meantime, there is no high school. The team that they played, and they was beating them 58 to nothing.
It was 52 to nothing final, maybe.
And the school has kids that's already it's an online school.
They were JUCO dropouts.
Are you kidding me?
College kids, 20 to 23 years old.
Heck.
So they didn't vet anything that was going out.
They just called and said, "Hey, this school has some nationally ranked recruits," and ESPN said, "All right, we're there."
Well, now there was a company.
Agency.
There's an agency called Paragon, I think is what it was called. That they were supposed to be the one to vet, or so ESPN
That's who does the vet.
That's who does it.
That's right.
That's correct.
They're the ones that's supposed to be going out and finding the games, and they didn't do the vetting.
Yeah.
So what happened? It put egg on ESPN's face. Mm-hmm. And now, so you're okay. All right. Now I don't know.
Another thing, and Chris Mike can find it, but now when I was listening to a station up in Atlanta, they said there is actually a warrant out for the coach's arrest.
Yes, an outstanding warrant.
Yes. So
what did he do? So in other words, you got some JUCO.
I think it was embezzlement, wasn't it? Wasn't it embezzlement?
I didn't read that.
Well, the JUCO players probably had to pay him to keep everybody
May
quiet.
have,
They
but
had, like-
ESPN is catching a lot of flack.
All right, so
for it.
he sounds like he's got some more information.
Well, I saw one thing today where they were actually, it was like footage from the game, and the announcers are saying it looks like number 64 is down. We don't have a number 64 on our roster that was given to us. That's
Bishop Sycamore.
That's
And what's he wanted for?
Active arrest on fraud charges after Team Duke ESPN.
wow. Because they pay for that.
Well, so they put out a fraud charge on him because of the duping, on top of the arrest warrant that he already had.
Or is that just the warrant that they took out for him because of the duping?
Because he already had.
When we say duping, it's not duping in legal terms. It's not duping, but legal
That's good
terms.
South Georgia term.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
But it's conspiracy to commit theft.
Misrepresentation, anyway.
It's and so it's one of those things that. Wow, this is the first time I'm hearing from. So y'all getting real reaction from me now. You got something else, Chris?
Yeah, the head coach is Roy Johnson.
The head coach named Roy Johnson. Now, just think of the name there, Roy Johnson. So my thing is, so what's happening? This is what I'm gathering from you two. So you got a coach. They got a bunch of teams together, a bunch of guys together, 23 years old or something, and below, and ESPN. This company. He must have called them. I would assume that's how that happened. But you said they were ranked number 2.
No,
IMG is ranked number two.
Okay. So how did IMG not know who they were? They didn't do their betting?
Hey, not only that, they played on Sunday 2 days after they played on a Friday.
They played 2 games in 3 days.
Yeah,
Wasn't it? Two games in 3 days.
The
Wow.
Sycamore or whatever.
The other school.
So, okay. So, all right. Now that a lot of things are not falling into place. So this guy duped not only ESPN, he duped the
Paragon.
who vets them. And all the kids kept it quiet, or all the men kept it quiet. And then they show up, and what field did they play?
At IMG.
And
So-
see, there's even more questions because would it be an ESPN and Tom Luganbill, who is I guess you could say basically the head honcho for college
Right.
recruiting
Right.
ranking. He was looking at the list and he's like, I've never heard any.
Wow.
And
That's
supposed
because
to be-
they were there 3 years
Yeah,
ago.
exactly. He got the expired list.
He probably was
Well-
actually thinking, I think I heard this name before, but that
But see,
guy's been
here's-
graduated a few years.
And I had a conversation this weekend down with one of the gentlemen with the CW, one of the announcers there, and we're on the field, and we're talking about high school football and how that's not represented as far as radio goes, and that ESPN, he actually had contacted ESPN to do a radio show. And I think he mentioned when we were talking about it, it's so ironic that you guys are saying this, because I called you and said, you know what, I got a dilemma this week.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. And we're not going to get into that, but it was like all this stuff. And then you just said this. How weird is that, dude? And and what's going to happen is now ESPN's going to get a bad rap. So no high school anywhere is going to.
Well, they got a bad rap anyway. But
No, but what I'm getting at for contracts for kids, or contracts for people to announce high school games, is that's what this gentleman is trying to get started. And evidently, this is going to be that's why it's not going to happen. Is things like
what
that.
I'm feeling is probably they just seen IMG. Paragon probably just seen, we can get IMG on.
Yeah,
ESPN take them.
Right.
They probably didn't even think about
Well,
that.
then it goes back to the IMG coach, because he should have been able to vet who that was.
Well, one of the
Call a high
problems,
school or an adult athletic director.
IMG has a really hard time finding teams to play.
Well, yeah,
Is one.
understand. Yeah.
So if they're finding someone that's saying, hey, we'll come to you and play.
Right.
So you don't have to pay to travel to go play somebody. And so they were probably willing to jump at it and say, yeah, come on, man.
Yeah, but still, don't you think the due diligence on the athletic director's uh, um, position he should have been able to follow up and find out. Okay, well, this is a school. Let me call their athletic director, or let me talk to their principal, or something like that.
I'm wondering if it wasn't brought to them by the Paragon guys and say, "Hey, look, we've got this team," and so they're saying, "Well, sure, hey, man, line them up. We'll play anybody.
Right?
You bring Notre Dame
It's
down.
going to
We'll
be
play
interesting over the next couple of weeks.
That's the first half. I thought you were talking about like this Netflix series that was going on here, and then some of these others. That's the first I've heard of that. When you saw my face, I'm just like, I don't know what to say.
And since we're talking about Netflix, because he's wanting to jump into it, though he hasn't watched it,
I haven't seen it yet.
Titletown High has premiered on Netflix last Friday.
Right.
I know where you was at, so you didn't watch it.
Right.
I had better things to do.
But you don't know because you ain't watched it yet.
I don't need to watch it, man.
You've actually already watched it. Just picture any high school show and any sports show and throw them together.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what it was.
Well, from what I'm hearing is that I'm hearing a lot of this. Exactly what he's saying. It was okay, but it's more drama, and they threw the drama together, and it shows. Now I'm gonna call this out right now. I'm gonna call it out right now. It shows Rush Probe in a better light than what most think or what most feel, and it shows Nub as being the villain in the whole thing. So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to say this right here. I'm going to say this right now. I want somebody to put this on share. I want it out there. I want anybody out there, I want you to do this. Rush Probes has gone on everybody's show but ours. He's been everywhere else in the community, and he's talked to everybody from Atlanta to South Florida. He will open his mouth for everybody. Rush Probes, I'm telling you right now, there's a chair right here for you to sit in. Come on our show and let's have a conversation.
We'll even give you Roger's chair so you
can have this chair.
It's a big chair to fill, man.
That's a big chair. You're right. But I'm just putting it out there for everybody. You can share it, play it, clip it, whatever you want to do. Rush, if you want to go to everybody else around here, we were calling people out. We want to talk to you personally. I don't want to call you out, but I want you to come here and explain to us a couple of things. I'm not going to give you a softball question. We'll tell you that straight up front. If you're not scared, come on, man. It's just about high school football. That's what I want to talk about. So, Rush, you're invited into this seat after he leaves, of course, and to come talk with us.
Well, if you want to talk high school football or then don't watch Titletown.
Well,
it's a small percentage of football.
Right. I'm a reality guy, and I like a lot of reality. No, I like reality things. I like, this is what's happened. They mix that into being, from what I hear, a high school drama and a high school football. And you just said it. It's those two.
It is. It's mixed up. How much of it is reality? I don't think there's a whole lot. There's some things maybe, but there's on the show that flat out said we was told to say this, we was told to say that.
That's what I was
so that's not reality
on Facebook. And if it's on Facebook, it's real. So on
it's Facebook official.
I'm watching. I'm watching some of the comments, and we know a lot of the commentators around here, and we know a lot of the football fans and a lot of football players. And there's one gentleman. He has a real high connection on the football team. He specifically said on Facebook himself, I saw it, I had to read my lines 4 to 10 times. Mm-hmm. So if it's reality, it's not my line.
Well, it's going to be according to, I would say, probably according to how old you are, whether you like the show. Now, when it was brought out, hey, they're doing a show on the Valdosta High program, I was thinking of the
Hoover
2-a-days.
Yeah.
No, well, the 2-a-days, but also the Inside the Camp or whatever it is.
Okay, NFL stuff.
Where they go in and they look at the guys. I can understand Grayson Levy, Paul's son. Yeah. Paul was on our show. I could understand going in there when he's following Paul in there and waking him up, saying, "Son, you gotta get up. It's first day. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go." And following him throughout the day, going to practice. Having the girlfriend that says she's quit drinking for him in 10th grade or 11th grade. I could have done without that. I thought it was about the football program and about him making changes and building them up.
Right.
So I was disappointed.
Well, we're gonna go to a break here in just 1 second. But my question is, how many times on these shows, I haven't watched this one, so I don't know, have legal consequences come into factor? A 10th grader, a
10th,
freshman,
11th,
yeah,
somewhere around
and they're
there.
putting out there and showing that they're drinking.
It did not show them drinking.
No, they didn't.
But she said I would quit drinking. So now, me personally,
she meant Pepsi Colas.
Yes, sir. That's what it was. I wouldn't let my kid do that.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not going to give any more credence right now because I haven't watched it. But yeah, it's a big talker, especially right here because it's from here. Let's take another break, and we'll be right back.
Research less and relax more with eTravel Anytime. Let us help you decide which Sandals destination is best for your romantic getaway, or help you choose the family resort that is best for your vacation. We can also help you decide which cruise is best for you and your family. Tell us your preferences and we can narrow down your choices. Contact us today so we can help you plan your next vacation. Call 229-300-3691. Need a website for your business? Shadowfox. We will design and build your website so you have more time for your business. We will help with all your online needs so you have more time for your customers. Learn more and get started now by going to www.shadowfox.design.
All right,
we're back.
What I'm saying is, we didn't talk any football, any high school football. We chatter and gossip and all this other stuff.
We did a little bit for reality, or non-reality.
Non-reality.
But anyway,
So,
quick recap for the regional areas. Last weekend.
Was that regional just Georgia or Florida
regional South Georgia?
No, you're South Georgia regional. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Lowndes 44, Griffin 34. Valdosta rose by Madison 52-0. Valwood gets defeated by Frederica Academy. Cook County was off. Barron County 3-0 over Lanier County. Of course, and again, Lanier County 0, Barron 3. Colquitt gets defeated by Cam Newton's old high school, Westlake, 31.
Got cut today, by the way.
Yeah. We're going to get to that too.
I know.
Tiff goes to 2-0 on the year with Dutchtown, who we say is around Atlanta.
They're from Holland.
Yeah, that worked too.
I'm telling
Ain't that around Atlanta?
Everything is.
Thomasville rose by Thomas Central 23-14. That looks like a pretty good score. But that used to be a rivalry.
That's
also.
a Lowndes Valdosta game. I've worked that one when I was officiating a few times through the years.
It gets a little hateful sometimes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's been a little one-sided last couple of years.
Yeah, well, it was the other way. Back. Yeah. When Ed Pilcher was there, it was Central. And Zach Grage has come into Thomasville and has really turned that program around. Ashley Henderson's doing a good job at Central. Zach Grage is he's pulling the athletes. He was a Probst disciple.
Okay.
Now, that being said, he coached under Probst. He's nothing like Probst.
I was going to say, did he actually come with him from Hoover, or was he in Colquitt County?
He was a Colquitt County guy.
Right.
I think he was there a year, but very, very good coach. A lot of respect for him in the years that I've worked for him, worked the games for him.
Yeah.
He's a good coach. Real good coach.
They've got, I believe, a quarterback from – where's their quarterback from?
Couldn't tell you that.
But I want to say he was – anyway, and to wind it up, Fitzgerald in a hard-fought contest defeats Irwin County 18-15.
That's another rivalry.
Is a rivalry.
Big rivalry.
And it's usually 2 to 3 times a year, or twice a year anyway. Not 3 times, but twice a year they play each other for the most part.
Do they?
Fitzgerald. No,
There are two different.
Irwin, and
Irwin
Pierce County is
and Clinch.
That's
Irwin
who
and
I'm
Clinch
thinking of.
they've played each other for a state championship like 2 years in a row.
Yeah. This coming week's games, Lowndes versus Lake.
Hold
Okay.
on.
All right.
So, all right, Atuga out of Alabama. And what was the name of that?
You said it was Childs.
Childs.
Yeah. Lawton Childs. Right across the state line.
Right across state line. So we were at the game, and we had an hour and a half delay because of rain. It was raining so hard you couldn't see the football.
What's the longest you ever had?
24 hours.
Are you serious? Did you come back and play it the next day?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. They cut it off about 11:30, just looking at the weather, and said, "Everybody come back tomorrow night at 5."
Well, and so they came back out on the field, and let me tell you something. Them hosses out there were hitting each other. One of the running back for Atuga has like 9 offers, D1 offers, and he was killing it. But then I'm gonna tell you, when Lawton Childs High School came back out, they have a beast. I don't know. I've got his name over there, but he would hit a guy, spin off of him like you were doing a remote control on a PlayStation.
You're doing no hit stick move.
Yeah, and it was just like boom, there he went. He was gone. He ran like 60-something yards in one play, and he just did that over and over again. I left right as the third quarter was in the middle of it because it was raining so hard. I had a shirt on that was stuck to me, and I'd do this, and it wouldn't go nowhere. So I just had enough of it.
So they called it because of rain or because of lightning?
No, it was because of the rain. They had lightning, but then they looked at the thing and they said it wasn't going to be through. Yeah, the radar, and they said it wasn't going to be through the rain. They had this big patch. I'm telling you, when I say it was raining so hard, nobody was standing on the field. And you couldn't see. You're the referee.
Florida may be different. Their rules may be different. Georgia, if it ain't lightning, we're playing football. I've worked a game at Colquitt County, and I looked across the field to see my fellow official and could not see him.
Yeah. Well, that's the way this was, except for you couldn't see the ball right in front of you. That's how hard it was. I didn't even get out of the car when that started. I called and said, "Are y'all still doing this?" And I sat in the car, and then I went to the store and got something to eat, and then I came back, and I sat there, and then the young lady from, I can't give her name out, but the young lady from the TV station there said, "Hey, we're going to do this at 8:30. And it slowed down, and by the time everybody got back out there, it came back and hit again, and I was just done with it. But it was one of those things that's the worst rain I've ever been in a high school football game, and I've been to many and played in many, so that was bad. But go ahead.
This coming week's games, we will start with Fitzgerald is at Turner County. Fitzgerald's 1-0, and Turner County's 0-1. 2-0, Thomasville plays Cairo, who has not played a game this year since the Valdosta scrimmage.
That's usually a good matchup, too.
Yeah. I would say, and Central of Thomasville is 0-2, and they're playing Lake Placid, Florida. I wonder if their nickname's the Gators after the movie.
When you said Lake Placid, I thought of New York.
That's exactly what I thought.
Is that where it is?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just remember the movie.
I didn't watch
where
that.
Betty White was feeding the Gators.
Now he's going on movie titles. Here we go.
Okay, 2-0 Tifton plays 1-1 Banneker. 1-1 Colquitt plays 1-0 Cedar Grove. Lanier at 1-1, who I want to talk about a little bit later. Plays
got much later though.
1-0 Bluntstown out of Florida. 1-0 Barron County plays Bacon County, who is 0-2. And what I think almost is going to be a good game is 0-1 Cook County versus 2-0 Pelham. You're probably real familiar with those also. 0-1 Valwood plays Savannah Christian, who's 0-1, so somebody's going to get their first win, unless they tie. Valdosta and Bainbridge, for folks that do not know, Valdosta was scheduled to go to Bainbridge, but it has been canceled due to COVID concerns.
And that was Valdosta who canceled
and
it.
And Valdosta is in COVID protocol.
Correct.
And 1-1 Lowndes is playing Lake Gibson at the Concrete Palace, and it will be on ESPN2. ESPN.
Now, have they vetted
on the Ocho?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Did they
Check your ESPN schedule
check your
Friday
local
night.
listings because it's not on NBC.
No,
Okay.
it's on ESPN.
So it's one of those things that you hope that they vetted everybody out on that one.
Oh, this one's
I believe
it's
that.
definitely vetted. Yeah,
You think
it's
they
definitely
did their due
vetted.
diligence on that?
Lake Gibson went to the third round last year, so
Yeah.
they're definitely vetted.
So what is this you have to talk a little bit about? Was it you said
Lanier.
Lanier
What's up
County. Have
about
you
Lanier?
watched them?
I haven't watched them this year. I know they're playing some pretty good ball from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I don't know the last time that, and they lost last week to Barron County 3-0, but that's a rivalry game that's usually one-sided. Barron County pretty much. I don't know the last time they beat Barron County, if they've ever beat Barron County.
No,
but Lanier County, his folks, they're up and coming. They won their first game. Of course, they're 1-1, but it was pretty impressive. I was 33-14, I think it was, and for Little Barron County, I mean, I think there's seasons where they didn't score 33 points. So it's be a team to watch locally.
Lanier or Barron?
Lanier.
I think Barron myself.
I think Berrien is going to be surprise a few people. Be looking forward to that Berrien Cook when you talk about rivalry.
Yeah.
That's a big rivalry.
They had a scrimmage not too long ago. Barron Cook didn't they?
I don't think they scrimmaged
because that's a Lowndes Valdosta type matchup.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But I thought somebody said that it was the first week or right before the first week they were having some kind of. There was something going on between the two teams, and it may have been softball.
There's probably something going on between them. All right, rivalry, but
there's been a few fights through the years.
But I mean,
and Lanier and Clinch have a lot of that too.
Well, Barron's, but when you think of Barron, you think at least they win more games. Lanier County usually, if they're 2-10, boy, that's ecstatic.
The Barron County's been that same way though. Over the last couple years, but I think
over the last probably 15 years, I would agree with you. I would say, but for them to put 33 points on the first week, man, that turned my head. My eyes went, whoa.
That's what I was thinking. And for Barron County, a lot of their kids are young. They don't have a lot of big, oversized kids like most do. Let's face it, their quarterback's only 6 foot tall, 5'10". I thought we had him on the show. We had his dad here, so it's one of those things that. I don't know. I think they're going to be really underestimated, but I think people are starting to take notice now.
What I think, and I'm not as familiar with Barron. Lanier County, I know a few years ago you could go a Friday night, and I don't know if you ever refed over there, but I mean they might have 30 kids on the field back then.
Yeah.
Now I would suffice to say they got around 50. So he's built the program over there. Yeah. The key, I think, bigger than anything was getting the kids interested, showing that, we're not going to get blowed out every game. Because if kid knows he's going to get blowed out, he don't want to play. But you start winning 2 games right off the bat and then 3 games, and it's going to build them every year.
And look, that's any program.
Yeah. Yeah, it ain't just
any program is going to want to, try to build something, and they want to continue building on that success. And I think the guy that's coaching at Lanier, and his name escapes me right now
either.
But that's one of the things he's tried to really do. All the way going back into the middle school and JV level, he's really tried to build something there.
And I think another thing that's helped him is he isn't looking to leave. That's one thing about the smaller schools why some of them can't get the consistency, because I think in 3 years, and just a few years ago, within 3 years, Lanier had 3 head coaches.
But here's the
thing.
You
can't build consistency when you turn around.
I understand what you're saying there. But what coach, and now if he can get people to buy into the program, which it sounds like people over there have, because we know people that work at the high school there.
Yeah.
And so he's got them to buy into the program. He's got the middle school to buy into the program, the rec leagues to buy into the program. And who's going to say, I'm going to leave this year, so don't buy into this? They're not going to do that. I mean, the perfect example would be Jeff Aaron at Camden County High School. He got everybody to buy into the program. Never said he was going anywhere. And then what did he do? He up and left and went to a single A school. So they're not going to tell you. It's just like you told me a couple weeks ago. Yeah, but who's going to tell you that they're going to leave?
They're not. But I think you can see actions of some coaches on what I'm not saying if
you bought
if
into the
a
program.
3 or 4A school come in and talk to them. I mean, for your family's sake, you got to talk to them.
Oh yeah, I agree.
But I don't think he's going out there saying, "Oh, I'm gonna get them 10-0 so I can get the crap out of here next month."
I don't think anybody really does that. But then again, I'm not in their minds. Go ahead. You got something to say because you're busting at the lips here.
Well, the thing that I see, and just from knowing so many coaches through the years, one of the things that makes a good coach is they don't have an issue with or a fear of not winning. They have a fear of losing.
Yes.
They don't care about winning, but they hate losing.
Right.
And those type guys are going to drive whatever program they got and take it to the next level. And I don't care who they are, somebody's going to want that. They're going to see it.
Yeah.
And they're going to say, dude,
exactly.
Look at what I can pay you. I'll raise your salary $50,000 a year. Well, you'd be foolish not to.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's coaching at Lanier thinking about moving to a 3 or 4. Right?
He's thinking about building what he's doing and doing what I got to do to be successful where I'm at.
Yeah,
that's right.
If it happens, it happens. Okay, look. So here's what we're doing. We're at the end of the show tonight, and this has gone really quick because we talk about a little bit of everything. But as you can see, our new wardrobe, we're going to be on Channel 40 out of Tallahassee. It's NBC, and we'll be there. We'll actually be airing Saturday morning from 9 to 10. You need to check out all the websites. They'll all be aired with the show. Instagram, all the way to Facebook, to YouTube,
the Armchair Sports,
thearmchairsports.com. It's going to be across all the social media. So feel free to look us up and go there, and you can see it anywhere. So what we're going to do right now, though, is we're going to give some parting words just for our guest here, and I'm going to give him the last word unless you want the last word.
No, I'm through.
You through.
I'm through.
He's through.
I'm through.
So, okay, what should we be looking for in high school football this year?
This year?
Yeah.
Some hard-hitting action, man. And I'm going to tell you, it ain't just 7A football. You can go to Clinch County, and the hardest hit I ever saw in high school football was in Clinch County.
Really?
I'm telling you, it ain't just 7A. Everybody thinks, it's 7A ball. It don't matter.
No,
I'm telling
little boys
you, there's athletes everywhere in the state of Georgia.
He just says them little boys will throw. Those boys are the same size.
I don't mean that little boys like 5'4".
No.
I mean the smaller schools.
Smaller schools. I know. But it's the way you said it.
So everybody else knows what I said.
Cairo. I remember back in the day, Cairo, they'd have 11 linebackers on the field at one time is what it seemed like.
Yeah.
They were all 5'10". They all weighed 160 pounds, and they'd hit you in the mouth.
Yeah, definitely.
Go to Brooks County. Good football over there.
Brooks County has some
they'll play.
Excellent football.
So, that's the thing. When it comes to high school football, it ain't just 7A. It's all over this area down here. It's all over.
It's all and North Florida too. Because I think what's happening is it's drifting from. It's not drifting north to going up to the northern, except for like Grace and the areas up there. But you start going into North Florida. When you go into North Florida,
transfers.
When you go into North Florida, and it seems like their mentality is starting to become the same as South Georgia's. Mm-hmm. And I think what's happening is those coaches are seeing what's happening here, and they're starting to pick it up too.
Yeah.
And it's starting to come around up there. But I tell you what, tune into us on Saturday from 9 to 10, Saturday morning. And we'll circle back.